So I just turned 3.
Yes, you did. Okay. Oh, you got to be quiet, dude.
Oh, big screen.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second edition of Deja Vu, presented by Absolute Stone Design. I'm your host, Nathan Heinschel. Tonight, we'll be watching the 2009 USL 2nd Division Championship between your Richmond Kickers and the Charlotte Eagles. The match was played on 8 p.m. on August 29, 2009, at then named the University of Richmond Stadium. As you might have saw this morning, we've had to make a last-minute change to the team sheet. William Yambi was originally scheduled to appear on tonight's program, but some unexpected travel delays made it impossible. So we wish Yambi safe travels and can't wait to have him on at a later date. Now, I'm pleased to introduce my very distinguished guests. Joining me this evening are two Kickers legends, 2009 USL-2 All-League First Team and Goalkeeper of the Year, Ronnie Pascale, as well as USL-2 All-League First Team midfielder Mike Burke. Thank you both for appearing, and an extra shout-out to Mike for agreeing to come on in a pinch. Gentlemen, how are we doing this evening?
What's up, Nathan? How are you? Berkey's going to say something.
No, everything's great. What year was this, 2009?
Yeah.
Okay.
How old were you back then, Nathan?
That would have been my first weekend of my freshman year of college.
Yes. Cool. Well, I appreciate you having us on. I think it's going to be fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can't wait. I can't wait to make fun of everyone on the team,
including yourself.
Well, and of course, Mike, we've gotten to work a little bit together. Right when everything started going on with coronavirus, you and I started filming some things for the youth club, and that was always a fun opportunity over there at City Stadium. But it's my first time really getting to meet Ronnie. Clearly, as you can tell from the flag behind me and the shirt that he's wearing right now, we're going to get along just fine tonight.
Absolutely, no worries whatsoever.
To our head coach currently for the Kickers, Darren Sawatsky, if you're watching, eat your heart out, Liverpool fan.
Is he a Liverpool fan too?
Yes, sir.
I'm a huge Liverpool fan.
Yeah, there you go.
See?
You'll have to find Darren in the office. You guys can talk.
Jump on the bandwagon, Berkey. Jump on the bandwagon.
By the way, I was Supporters' Choice MVP in 2009. In case you were wondering, Nathan.
You'll have to change that on the Wikipedia page. Then I didn't see it.
It's on there.
Is it?
Yes.
All 6 fans back then voted for him.
They voted twice, actually.
Half of them were his brothers.
Well, congratulations on that additional award right there. If you guys take a look at that season, for any of the fans who don't remember, it was a very successful year for the Kickers. Quite a few first team mentions, as well as second team mentions. Obviously, Ronnie was goalkeeper of the year. One of the obviously best team of the season. You guys won the championship, but kind of setting the stage for the final. You guys had a great regular season. Let's see, I got it in my notes. You scored the second most goals in the league while allowing the fewest amount of goals. The team played in one of the highest scoring matches of the season as well. An absolute barn burner as the Kickers took a 7-2 victory over Bermuda. For those who don't remember, Bermuda, an island nation, 600 miles off the coast of North Carolina, was in the league. On top of that, Kickers finished second in the regular season behind the Wilmington Hammerheads. You guys finished level on points, with the Kickers having a higher goal differential, but the Hammerheads had more wins on their record, so they were technically the regular season champions. So going into the playoffs, how are you guys feeling based on your regular season performance, and then with Wilmington taking the title that you guys probably should have won?
Go ahead, Ronnie.
For us, especially back then, we had a really good group of veteran players, and we always were extremely confident that we're the best team every time we took the field. Whether we played like it or not, I don't know. That might be a different story, but we were always very confident about it. So, especially playoff time, I don't know about you, Berkey, but for me, playoff time was always my favorite time of the year, and it kind of switched into a different gear. And like watching the game and looking at the guys that we had on the team and on the bench, I was completely confident going into the playoffs that we were going to win the whole thing. It doesn't happen very often that you have a team that was clicking that well, and we had a lot of players that kind of supported each other and played well with each other. But it was just a really good group.
Yeah, I think when we won it in 2006, I think we just wanted it so bad after we lost in 2005. So we had so much more of, I guess, anger and revenge. And then in 2009, and in those middle years, we just felt just pretty comfortable that no matter what happened, we were going to win. And I remember in that game, even though after watching it, I didn't feel as confident, that regardless of what happened, there was no doubt that we were going to win the game. That's how we felt the entire year, actually. So I've never experienced that up until that year. We were just so much better than, well, I wouldn't say so much better. We were just better than everyone else. And maybe that was more in our heads than actually how we played.
Yeah, I think Burke brings up a great point. Like 05 was just painful. And then, making it to the finals, losing in a shootout, dropping down a league the next year. I mean, I don't think we would have settled for anything but winning a championship that year. 07, we played Harrisburg in the finals. That was probably one of the most frustrating games I've ever been involved in, because every time we got the ball, they just fouled us. I think the foul count was like 38-7 on the game. Like, it was insane. And they even told us afterwards that was their game plan. Like, they couldn't let us counterattack. They couldn't let us go forward. They were just going to foul us. So we lost that game in a shootout. What was 08? Was 08 we lost to Cleveland in the semifinals, I think?
Yep.
Which was kind of painful too. But going into 09, we put together this team and brought in like Kenny Cutler and some of these other veteran guys that were just good veterans, good players. We all gelled together on the field, and it was just, I think every game we went into, like Burke said, we felt like we were going to win.
Yeah, absolutely. And between the veteran talents that you guys had, and you could clearly tell that everything was gelling when you guys were playing the game. Of course, too, for anybody not in the know, a couple other kickers players who you're definitely familiar with were in this match, whether it be Sasha, Deli, David Bulow, William Yambi, of course. I mean, so many names that you just associate with Richmond Kickers history all played in this game. I mean, it was definitely probably one of the all-time teams that we've fielded since, 1993.
Yeah, I would agree with that. We've talked about it a couple of times. Just when guys get together, we see each other on the field, whether it's coaching or watching, whatever. I think the team we had in 06 was one of our most talented teams, but this team in 09 was right up there. I mean, it was from top to bottom. It was a really, really good team.
Yeah, I think you have to also think about back then, 2006 to 2009. There wasn't a ton of teams, so the talent, that were on these teams had to be good because there just wasn't many teams. So we competed during a time where soccer definitely, professional soccer wasn't as popular, but the competitiveness of these players was high level, even though it was lower than the MLS and things of that nature. But it was a lot of good players because there were so few teams.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the talent level definitely wasn't watered down the way it is nowadays.
Yeah, and as our producer starts to roll the game footage now, Mr. Patrick Wood, I kind of want to set up the final a little bit as well. So in the semifinal, you guys played against the Harrisburg City Islanders, which if you take a look at the score sheet for that one, rather dramatic finish, 0-0 all the way into the 120th minute, with penalties almost seeming to be assured. And then Matthew Delicott pulls a goal out of his little magical hat to send the Kickers to the final. So what was that game like, that semifinal, hosting it here in Richmond?
Honestly, I forgot about it until I saw that scoreline when I was watching this game. But I think that was another game where it's like, as it went on, I had zero doubt in my mind that we were going to lose. Even if it went to a shootout, I was completely confident we were going to win that game and make it to the finals. I've been trying to remember it. I think Deli scored. I don't even remember. Do you remember the goal, Burke?
Nathan, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't remember a thing about the game. Although the one thing I do remember is Deli always scored big goals. There's no doubt about that. And I don't think I could remember a single thing about what happened in that game. I don't even know if I played in it, to be perfectly honest with you. I have no idea. I know that Harrisburg was always one of those teams like Charlotte that was advancing in the playoffs when we were playing, but we played them so many times in Charlotte that those things run together. I don't remember the game at all.
The only thing I remember, I think he scored on the goal that was down by the scoreboard. That's pretty much the only flashback I have from that one.
Over there at Skyline Sports Complex. Yeah, well, and unfortunately too, I mean, we know in the mid and late 2000s, it's kind of the Wild West of American soccer as things started to become digital. So very difficult to track down these kinds of things. I was perusing YouTube for quite a while trying to find that Delhi goal. Hoping we can put it up here, and I can't find it either.
Nathan, Delhi would know what happened probably.
Yeah. It's probably not true, but he'll tell you exactly what happened.
It was an overhead kick, I'm sure, right?
Knowing him, it was.
Probably received the ball, a long ball, received it on his chest, flicked it back up, and then overhead kicked it himself.
Thank God he scored that goal because he played absolutely shocking in this game. So we needed him. We needed him to score that goal because he was basically playing with 10 players with him out there.
Good old Delhi. Oh, you don't become a legend for nothing,
Especially in your own mind.
Well, taking a look at it, it looks like it was probably a pretty good day here in Richmond for the match. I can only assume, though, with it being late August, I'm sure it was very, very humid and probably still pretty warm for a 8 o'clock kickoff, but probably couldn't have asked for better conditions and a good opponent in Charlotte then, too, to really claim that title.
Yeah, when you think about rivalries back then, like American soccer rivalries, I think our biggest one in the Kickers' history is probably the Battery, but a really close second is Charlotte. We always seem to face them in big games. We knew most of their players really well. They knew us really well. It kind of had the added meaning that Dustin Swinehart announced his retirement right before the game. Ben Johnson, too, who, unfortunately, Ben kind of got overshadowed. But Ben was a great servant for Charlotte as well. Really good player, really good dude. So they kind of had that going, and that was kind of one of those intangibles that honestly kind of scared me a little bit. Of you're playing for basically the face of the franchise. But yeah, it was a fun game. We knew that they were going to attack, they were going to work hard, they were going to press us, they were going to make it really difficult for us to play. But we beat them in 06, and I know we were kind of looking forward to doing that again this year.
I would just say that I hated playing against them because they never stopped. They just kept going and going and going, and it was kind of the opposite of me back then the way I played. But if video review was back then for this game, I think there might be like 2 red cards already between like Joey and myself. By the way, thank God that didn't take place.
Joe Butt absolutely housed the guy in this game.
Yeah, I remember pointing it out when Patrick and I were talking about this game previously before the broadcast. And speaking of good servants for Charlotte, a name that a lot of people I think are going to be familiar with, even newer fans, because it seems like the Brett Favre of lower league American soccer. Jorge Herrera is the one who gets absolutely trashed on a tackle.
That was what I was talking about, Joey Worthen. I mean, if they look back at that, they probably in today's game they probably throw a red card.
Yeah.
And I also step on a player's leg right before halftime, and it's very obvious. But if they go review that nowadays, I'm tossed for sure.
If that was the case, Burke, you probably tossed out about half the games you played in.
What was the score in this game?
This match, without any spoilers, it ended up finishing 3-1.
Oh, we did get a PK. Okay.
Yep. Well, thankfully, we have the opportunity to speak with the statute of limitations expired for Mike over here. So,
yeah. So this is one of those games again, like we were saying. In my mind, we played really good in this game. Looking back at it. Especially the first half. The first half was pretty shocking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and there was no playing out of the back in soccer back then. It was, I mean, look at everyone's reactions. They just. Well, that was pretty good. But this guy right here, he was a train wreck. Joey Worthen. I mean, he would run through look at him. He's fallen already everywhere.
Well, we already have a comment from Joey when we were talking about the tackle on Jorge Herrera. He claims it is clean. It was a clean tackle.
Joe Bot, there's no so Joey had and we'll see it in a minute. Joey had a nickname. We called him the Joe Bot because he just absolutely trucked people all the time.
Yeah, he was all over the place. I'm gonna give him a hard time on this cast for sure. I wasn't much better than anyone else though.
So I do have to give Joey this though. So one of the worst tackles I ever saw was on Joey in college. I was coaching at Furman after I played there, and a guy named Mo Adore, who Mo played for Harrisburg for a little bit, absolutely destroyed Joey at midfield.
Ronnie, it was worse than Mo Adore's tackle on me.
Believe it or not, it was. But that
couldn't be. I have a picture of it. There's no way.
It was bad, dude. It was bad.
Yeah, so we're just feeling the game out right now in the first couple minutes, and it usually takes about 5 to 10 minutes to feel the game out, and
it took us 45, Burke.
It took us 45. Yeah, it took us 45. Yeah,
at least.
Look at the reaction of the back four. They don't even look to play the ball. Ronnie just goes long every single time.
Well, Lee told me I'm not allowed to play the ball to Yambi or Henry.
For a good reason.
Well, we're going to see coming up too. There, Yambi shielding an attacker, and he does a really quick pass back to you, Ronnie. Where
yes,
I can't imagine there was even 5 feet of space between you inside the box, and I'm sure that was harrowing in the moment.
So the one good thing is in my 13-year career with Richmond, I don't think I played with a center back that didn't love to stitch me up at least once a game. Peter Luzak was the absolute worst. I would get one pass from Luzak every game where it was like a volley bouncing either at my chest or my knees.
Look, Ronnie, right there in the beginning, already very aggressive off his line. He kept us in this game for sure. He was unbelievable.
Nice, Berkey. That might be the first time you complimented me ever.
No, I watched you. You definitely you had a big part of this game for us. Absolutely. When you get in your 40s, you start to become a little nicer.
Mellow out a little bit.
Yeah, look. These guys don't give me any space. You know what? I think it was my hair that gave me. My hair was short, and I don't think I played well when my hair was short.
So you kind of remind me of Beckham when Beckham would shave his head.
Yeah,
this one.
It's a good comparison. I'm probably pretty close to him in level, but
yeah, I think one of your free kicks coming up is just like his.
Yeah, and Deli in this game, he really. I don't know if he was playing with the red shirts. I think he was playing with the Charlotte Eagles for most of the game. You can see it's sloppy. There's no real rhythm to the game at all right now. We're 4 minutes into the game. That guy was good. Is that Martins?
Yeah, that's Martins. He scored the goal.
Yeah, he was a very good player, and Kenny Cutler was a very good player too. Excellent player.
Yeah, and we'll see in the upcoming minutes. Martins hit quite the banger actually to take the initial lead. It was another long ball. It seems like that was kind of Charlotte's go-to, was to try and play it over top, and Diego Martins was able to take a volley just clean.
Yeah, he was a very good player. I think he was Brazilian.
Yeah, poor Ronnie was just kind of sitting there in no man's land, hoping that you got you had a 50-50 shot of playing to the right side or the left side.
Ronnie didn't see it, Nathan. Ronnie did not see it.
No, I just kind of closed my eyes and guessed.
That was not a good ball. I'm going to blame Joey, but it was not a good ball. Even though probably during the game I said, Joey, what are you doing? I mean, it was a perfect ball. I tend to blame a lot during the game. And then I look back and think, well, you know what? It's probably my fault.
100% you yelled at him when you did it.
Oh, definitely.
No doubt in my mind.
I yelled at everyone. No one really liked to play with me, Nathan.
No?
Not really.
We'll take a look through here too. We got another comment from Tish Schrock. She says, "Is that Sasha?" in all caps.
Yeah, Sasha was our left back at the time.
Yep.
We had a really two speedy outside backs in Kenny Cutler and Sasha.
Yeah, they were both really, really good players. They're probably the most underrated players on our team. I got all the accolades, but they deserve all the credit.
So both of them, they weren't the most athletic players, but they were both really, really smart. They read the game really well. And they
Look at that pass from Deli. Oh my God. I mean, he just gave it to the other team. You see that? He gave it to the other team.
That wasn't even close to anyone on our team.
You would think being 6'3", you could see a little easier that there was a blue person right there. Shocking. And he heard it from me all day today, by the way.
Good. He deserves it.
That was right there. That's more fans than we've had all season.
I do remember it was a really good crowd. Back then we were maybe averaging 2,000 a game on the high note, and I feel like this game was 3,500, 4,000.
That was Jerson Dos Santos. He was a good player. Sasha right there. He loved that move. That was his best move. And Joey's offside, I think. No, maybe he's onside.
He dribbled out of bounds.
Yeah, look at him. Look at him. He's all over the place. Look at him.
Yeah,
oh, my goodness. Joey, I need another comment from Joey because it's not looking good for him right now.
I would say he went back and did better in the second half, but he didn't come out for the second half.
Oh, that is brutal. That is a low blow to Joey. Poor guy.
Yo, bot. Yeah, Jerson. So Jerson, I had the honor of I actually coached Jerson at VCU. And he was one of those guys. He was really, really good at VCU. There's a good pass back. Thanks, Yambi.
That's the pass from Yambi right there I was talking about.
Oh, no, he has a better one coming up.
Like, I knew what the scoreline was, and I thought they were still going to score right there. I got really nervous.
Watch Joey here. Oh, that's a red. I mean, that is malicious. He should be red carded, thrown out. I mean,
in 2009, he got a talking to.
Watch.
I mean, is he a soccer player or what? What is he?
Joey Worthen doing his best Tom Wilson from the Capitals impression right there with that body check. I mean, my goodness.
Totally inappropriate. Should have been a red card. I think he got a red card in the 2005 final.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, something about these finals. He wants to get red carded. I need a comment from Joe Bot very quickly.
So is that the two finals that Joey played for us? I don't think he made it past halftime on either one.
That is so cold.
Well, Matt Myers thinks that Jorge Herrera dived. So,
yes.
And of course, this is a Kickers podcast or Kicker show, so we're going to err on the side of Richmond on that one.
You see, there's no one really dominating right now at this point, and we're 8 minutes in. It's kind of back and forth and getting a feel for each other. But I think they end up having most of the first half and a lot of the chances. Deli's still trying to figure out like what happened last night because he doesn't know his name from his ass.
Oh, there's your first one.
But yeah, you see it where they just really wanted to bomb the ball and see if they could, catch the back line with their forwards. And so it doesn't look like really the Kickers or Charlotte kind of got a rhythm, at least for the opening 15 minutes.
Yeah, no, it's in finals too. Look at Sasha; he was amazing. Not so much on the ball, but like the finals too were always a little bit nerve-wracking too. I mean, regardless if it was a low level or high level, I don't think those feelings change whether you're playing in front of 90,000 or 2,000. I think it's just the nerves too get to you sometimes, and it. Obviously the best players in the world are at their best during that time.
That was almost a good ball by Deli.
Yeah, there's a ball coming up here, like where Edson gets the ball, and I feel like he's onside, but they call him off, and he's like clean in. And I was wondering, I was going to be curious of what you guys thought of it.
I think Edson's another one of those underrated guys.
Yeah, we had a lot of those underrated players for sure.
One thing I noticed, we'll see it in the second half, but second half, Bulow comes on and Edson moves out wide. And
look at Deli again. I mean,
100 times more effective.
I feel bad for Deli in this game. He must have had a rough night or something.
Yeah, but you can really see in the second half when Bulow comes on, it was an absolute different wrinkle I think that Charlotte wasn't ready for.
Yeah, it wasn't only the Bulow coming on. It was a little bit of a tactic change from Lee, where he put me on Sasha's side. He brought in DiRamondo early on in the second half, and he was a good player. And the things started to change then. I don't like to give credit to Lee, but probably deserve a little credit here.
That's probably the first time I've heard you ever compliment Lee, too.
So going into this game too, kind of what was the thought process from Lee and the coaching staff as far as the approach for Charlotte and how you guys kind of wanted to shape up against them?
I'll go first here. I'll go real quickly. I don't think Lee worried too much because of the players that he had. And I can't quite remember if we switched to a 4-4-2 just for this game. We usually played a 4-5-1, or a 4-3-3. So, you know, I can't remember. I think he was just as confident. So I don't think he worried because I always felt like he probably knew that he had the best players in the league. I don't know if Ronnie feels any differently, but
yeah. And I think for this one, we were so familiar with Charlotte and the way that they play that it wasn't one of those like, we've got to change things for them. It was, we know what they're going to do. So we just have to make sure that we play our game. We're aware of what they're going to try to do, which, like you've said a couple times, Nathan, I mean, they are a really physical, athletic team, and they just work, and they press, and they look for long balls and lock you in and wait for you to make mistakes. So, you know, I don't think we really changed much up. It was more just being aware of what they were going to do and making sure we were ready for it.
So you guys almost got the Sir Alex pregame speech of just go out there and be better than them because you are.
that was pretty much it.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. I mean,
lads at Charlotte.
I mean, think about it. You're Charlotte. You're always so close. They never give up. They lost to us in the 2006 final. They definitely had revenge. They wanted to beat us so bad in this final, and I never felt like it wasn't going to be our day in that game. It just never felt that way. We had such a good team then. I don't think we played particularly well in this game, but we had such a good group of players, and we always felt that we were going to win. And when you feel that way, I think it goes a long way because looking back, we didn't play that great.
No, I think
look at Deli's touch right there again. I mean, he gave it right to the other team. I'm telling you.
It was really 12-on-10 this first half, wasn't it?
I feel like we got to get Patrick to call Deli real quick and see if he can make a quick appearance and defend himself.
No, he won't. There's no way he'll answer the phone.
Deli?
Here it is.
Deli's already asked me where this. That was a good goal, by the way. Who's Ronnie blaming? Who you blaming there?
I'm on the Jerson. Watch. Jerson just lets him run right by. Watch what happens.
By the way, Ronnie loved to blame every goal on someone else.
Because it was always someone else's fault. You know that.
Always someone else.
So watch. Jerson's got him. He just runs right by him.
Yeah, but the back four's defending was not good there.
No, so this guy's a center midfielder. There's Jerson. He just watched him run right by him. So because I coached Jerson at VCU, I was allowed to yell at him though. Yeah, it was a good goal. There's nothing Ronnie can do about it. It was a great goal. They deserve credit for that goal. It was really good. But when they scored, I don't know how everyone else felt, but being who we were, we just never felt like we were going to lose the game, even though it took us a while. I mean, that was what was so strange about it. There were finals that we played in where I felt like, we were maybe the inferior team. Yeah. But this time we didn't feel that way, and the result went our way. Yeah, I mean, 05 in Seattle, I didn't feel like we deserved to win that game. Even the way the penalties played out, we probably should have. Yeah. Thanks, KJ, if he's watching. But yeah, with this one, I felt like even though we didn't play great, as we kind of get some momentum and the game unfolds, you'll see as the half goes on, we weren't playing well, but we still get some good chances at the end of the first half. Yeah. And the second half, we come out, we're just all over them. Yeah. I mean, I watched the game and I kept thinking, I really thought I was a better player than what I saw. And I was like, I don't know how, I wasn't effective in this game, really. I had a couple like glimpses, but
other than that, I was pretty poor, to be honest with you. It's always frustrating to look back at yourself and see that, but can't say the same about Ronnie. Ronnie was great. He never threw the ball to me ever.
No, I did like twice in this game.
For some reason, he refused to throw it to me, even though I wanted the ball every single time. Nathan, I was really annoying to play with. Very annoying. I yelled. I was, always moaning. But looking back on it, I try to be honest about how I was, and I would probably change a few things on how I would go about things. What's happening with is it fast forwarding or something?
Just a little bit of delay that we're replaying it right now. And of course I believe we had the video on probably VHS or DVD, and we had to convert it over. So there might be just a smidge of video hiccups that we see here.
Yeah. Deli was incredible in the air too. I mean, he was the best in the air in the league by far. He whenever I could put it, it was always room for error when I could put it in the air to his head because he would always win it. He was incredible in the air. Again, I think Deli was one of the most underrated players too that we had. I give him a hard time because we're close friends, but he scored. Without him, we wouldn't be in this situation. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah. So see, Jesse just said Lee wanted me to go. So every time I got the ball, Lee would just yell at me to kick it. Typical.
Yeah, but that message was consistent from basically 2000 to 2010. So there was nothing new with that one.
I was going to say, Burke, you were very annoying to play with, but you weren't as bad as Richie Williams, I'd get the ball, he'd run to the top of the 18 in front of me, he'd have 5 defenders on him, and he'd yell at me to give him the ball.
By the way, this is a great question from Matt.
Yeah.
I'm so happy that Dustin's wife gave birth because Lee probably wouldn't have started me, and so that would have annoyed the hell out of me. And so I'm glad because he always liked to start everyone else besides me, and probably would have won the game. But I prefer to start. So. But Swinehart was a great player. I mean, unbelievable guy, unbelievable character, unbelievable teammate. But I think if Swinehart was there, Lee would have sat me probably this is how he was.
So with that being said, we probably would have won if Burke was on the bench.
Actually, we probably would have won because I would have came on in the 70th minute and scored a PK instead of AJ. So, yeah.
Did you ever score a PK? Did you ever?
By the way, Ronnie did miss a PK in that game. I want everyone to know Ronnie missed a PK, and so did that guy. He hit one over. Both Ronnie, Deli, and KJ missed very important PKs.
I missed the one to lose it. Let's not sugarcoat it, Burke.
Yeah.
KJ.
Yeah, you're right. But
I hit the crossbar. See.
What's he talking about?
05, the 05 finals. You were not in the lineup until Dustin couldn't make it. See, you were right.
I always thought Jesse had my back. I'm learning a lot about him right now. But yeah, so there's these glimpses of when I play good. I'm like, wow, maybe I was okay. But then I'm like, look, right there, look. And Lee's probably saying he's not good enough. We need to get him off the field. He probably had too much soda that day and French fries.
No, so by this point, Burke, 19 minutes in, we're down 1-0. Lee probably has everyone on the bench warming up. Right? Everyone go warm up.
Yeah, Lee was notorious for if things weren't going well, he would tell everyone to go warm up. And then he would make no changes. And every single person that would go warm up would roll their eyes and be like, I can't believe we're doing this. This is no fun. We're not going to go in. He has his favorites. And I've been there. Trust me, I've been there. Ronnie's never been there. I've been there.
No, I was there the first 2 years, and I'd get really excited. So I'd warm up really hard and then realize I had no chance of going in.
All right, we're getting off tangent here. We got to talk about the game.
So 05, though, if you remember, so we were horrendous at the end of the season. I think we only won 1 out of our last 6 games. Squeaked in as the last seed, I think we only scored like 1 or 2 goals in those last couple of games, so like we were really bad. And then
You mean
we
this
got
season?
on loan and ended up going on a bit of a streak.
Like this season?
No, in 2005.
Ronnie, we're watching 2000. We got to watch this game. Come on.
Right. Well, Matt asked a question about 05.
What did he ask another question?
No, it was just that original one.
Oh. See, like I don't feel like in this situation we're doing very good. They're all over us.
Yeah.
We're trying to like figure things out, and we just can't get established. Probably because they can't find me the ball. If they found me the ball, we would do much better. But they couldn't find me the ball, and we had probably lack of success because of that reason. So I blamed everyone. I would just blame everyone, and I'd blame Lee, Jesse, So, but looking back on it, I was probably like 99% of the problem.
Well, you can see it right now, especially after the goal. Charlotte definitely had some wind underneath their wings. We're starting to play even higher. And it just seemed like you guys really couldn't get your rhythm. A couple bad passes here and there in the midfield. And so they were able to capitalize and just keep the pressure up. And you guys were just trying to do, what you needed to do to kind of alleviate it more than start to, take back control.
Yeah, I mean, watching the game, we were lucky we were only down 1-0 at halftime. Like I don't think we've created a decent chance yet this half.
Yeah, I blame Lee. He didn't set us up properly, so I'm just going to let him take 100% of the blame here, and just chalk it up to that. But at the end of the day, the guys on the field are the ones playing, so we didn't do very well. In this first half, I would say they controlled 70% of the half. There was, I think, towards the end, we had a flurry where we got a little better. But we're 22 minutes in, and I don't feel we've created any really good chance.
No, and I don't think I've passed the ball at all. Every time I've gotten it, I just kick it long. Ooh. One thing I do remember about this team, though, is I feel like the chemistry was really good.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we all got along really, really well, and I think that kind of played into the mentality we had that we were always going to go in and win, was because we all really got along well. It was a good mix of players, veteran and young guys. Even the guys on the bench were all kind of willing to do their part.
Yeah, it was. It's always tough to, when you're a reserve or you're not coming in the game, to be positive, and it's not an easy situation for any player, especially when we're not making millions and millions of dollars like some of these clubs around the world, and when that you're always going to be the starter or playing all the time, it's a little easier. But the chemistry on this group was, and several other groups, was always so amazing. Wasn't so much what happened on the field, but what off the field stuff mattered, and we all got along so great. And that's the stuff I remember. That's why I don't remember the Harrisburg game, because you see Deli's ball right there.
That was a tough ball. That was a really tough one.
Yeah, I mean, Charlotte should not be worried when Deli's playing balls like that, and that's probably why they were pretty confident.
I don't know if he forgot that Burke's only like 5'2" and thought he was a little bit taller. But that was a shocking ball.
It was. But everyone loves him. Everyone loves Deli, so I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. He had big feet. Probably couldn't control his feet too well.
Well, I mean, you guys are looking for him to play maybe some shorter passes as a target man, not across half the field, right?
No, yeah. This is one good moment I had. Look at my shot, how hard it is. I mean, if I could, that's why I played at this level, because I couldn't score those goals. That's why I played at this level. That should be a relatively tough opportunity for the goalie, or a tough chance for the goalie. Look at this. The dribbling was great, but then my confidence goes from 100% to 0%, and I pass it to the goalie.
Yeah. I probably would have just trapped that ball instead of actually catching it.
Put your laces through it, young man.
No, I don't think that was offside.
No, I don't think that one was either.
That was an interesting one.
Are they going to show that again?
Yeah, they show it again. I mean, it's really close. I'm thinking it was Yeah, Luke's very upset, and when he gets upset, you know it's wrong because he's by the book kind of guy. So when he was upset, it was maybe they didn't show it again. I think I rewound it last time and watched it.
Yeah, no, that one was one I remember too. I thought he was on. I forgot how solid Yambi and Henry were too.
No, they were great. Yeah,
I mean,
they were great.
You couldn't get around them. They were just two big, strong, athletic central defenders.
Those are guys, Nathan, that like you don't want to practice against because, like, normally I wouldn't wear my shin guards to practice, but with Henry, you would have to because he would crush you at practice, crush you.
Without even practice is a game time situation, right? Got to get ready for the game.
Yeah. I mean, we were just so used to winning back then. We never doubted that we were going to win. We were always in the playoffs. I think out of the 11 or 12 years that I played, 1 year we didn't make the playoffs, but we were always in the playoffs. We always were a good team. Lee always did a great job with getting the players that he needed to be successful. We had a lot of success, and obviously, when you have a lot of success, you're confident in these games. I mean, how many finals were we in, Ronnie?
02, 05. Yeah, you tried to chip me right there. 02, 05, 06, 07, 09,
so
and then 10 or 11.
Yeah, so 5 finals, right?
Yeah.
5 finals we were in, and we won 2. I would say for any player at any level, whether it's low level, high level, playing in 5 finals is a pretty good accomplishment, whether you win or lose. And that just kind of look at this guy. Look at this guy.
Of course, he shows up the one time he almost completes a pass.
He's been here the whole time. He's probably shocked at his performance. He's been looking for the moment to compliment himself.
Yeah, but he didn't even do it on one he completed. He flicked it to the goalie.
This was how close was that?
It wasn't as close as it looked at first time. I remember that.
Ronnie loved to exaggerate his dives, by the way. Just everyone knows that. He, small goalkeeper. I think, look at that ball I just played. By the way, my performance is probably, out of a 10, it's probably a 2 or a 3.
Yeah, I've seen you have some really good games, Burke, and this probably isn't up as one of the better ones.
No, Lee should have took me out way earlier.
He was probably going to yell at him, though.
It's always frustrating looking back and seeing you play poorly because you don't have many games on tape that you can watch.
Oh, Deli, you've got nothing to stick up for, though, buddy.
Yeah, I think for the most part, everyone would agree Deli did not have a pretty good game, but I didn't either. But I always tried to look for Deli. I mean, he was responsible for why I probably had so many assists. He was one of the few, main ones responsible. There's Joey again. Poor guy. He can't get a hold of himself right now.
Yeah, he didn't have one of his better games either.
Kenny have the nerve of the championship, though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, as confident as you guys were, it's still a final at the end of the day.
Right.
Here, let me see if I do anything positive. Yep. Kenny Cutler and Sasha, were unbelievable, fantastic players. And, oh, wait. Here we go.
Wait.
Oh. Yeah.
And Deli's making excuses, too. Yeah. Yep.
I think we kind of start getting a little bit better at this point. This is where I feel like the tide changes a little bit. The tide turns.
Yeah. By the way, too, though, Edson is as underrated, and as much as I loved Edson, he probably should have scored 5 goals this game.
Yeah, he couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. I mean, neither could I, to be honest with you. But
yeah, didn't we stress over and over to shoot low on this keeper because he was like 6'8"?
6'6". Yeah,
6'6". When I shot the ball, when I did, which is never because I was so scared to miss, it was never very good. Is Ross on this team, by the way?
Yeah, he came on at the end.
Ross comes on in this game.
Yeah, the last couple minutes.
Wow. How many minutes did he get?
More than his league than his season average. So he played like
That's good.
Yeah, like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
We're gonna have Ross commenting now on the Facebook chat.
I want Ross to. So we're already 30 minutes into the game. So we're already 30 minutes in. I haven't done a thing at all, really, except one moment and I pass it back to the goalkeeper for them. But I haven't really done a thing. The game's pretty even. I think they've probably had more shots. Yeah. Right now, watching it back, I don't feel confident that we're the better team. During the game, I did, but I'm surprised. I'm really surprised.
So it's kind of like one of those fishing stories. Like in my mind, we were a lot better than we really are.
Yep, no doubt.
I agree with you. Like if I'm watching this game, I have zero confidence we're going to score a goal. During the game, I felt like we were going to, but
yeah.
Look at Sasha laying the shoulder.
That was a good run. That was a very good throw from Ronnie. Edson was super fast. If it wasn't for Edson and Bulow in this game, we wouldn't be as successful. I mean, they did great. They did great. Everyone else did great. Luke Vercaloni too was annoying to play with at times, but he was an incredible. I mean, the kind of guy that you would never not want to have on your team.
Yeah.
He was so tough to play against in practice, and that was a great chance right there. See, we start to get a little rhythm here and get some chances from corners. About the only thing I was good at was set pieces. So, I knew it.
That was a good little.
Poor guy. He has a very, very good point because I'm going to be honest. It wasn't good for me.
With that being said, though, what does that have to say about Ross if he's on the bench with you guys playing like this?
Yeah. I don't know if Lee had much confidence in the bench, but
yeah.
But Nathan, that's the hardest thing about, and I don't know how it is at the highest levels. I never really played at the highest levels, but you have guys on the bench that are, some world-class players for their countries. And I wonder if they feel the same way that we felt when we played, because it was hard to know that you maybe weren't going to start or come on. And that's hard. Amanda, here we go. Amanda worked for us in the office. She was awesome. She was I don't know if she was part of the 2009 final, but definitely 2006, right?
No, I don't know if she was around back then. She was at the very beginning. She was like 2000 to
definitely at the Milwaukee final for sure.
I don't know when Amanda, when did you leave us?
Yeah.
She's not going to answer.
She will. So I'm already probably so tired. I need a sub already. Oh, there she goes to the
2004. Yeah. So
my heart is probably in my throat. I have to kind of nonchalantly play it off.
So that was again the Milwaukee. Yeah. Tell me about it. I remember that one, Amanda.
So Nathan, we played Milwaukee in the final. Then the next year we played Seattle in the final. And then we won in 2000. Look, I look pretty good there, though, with the short hair.
You look kind of Beckham-esque. So yeah. I'll be honest with you, though. So that was the first time that Braden, my son, saw you with short hair. And he was like, ooh, Burke, he kind of looks weird.
So I probably look way better than I played. So
yeah.
So is that a team thing for this game? Because nobody's really rocking any lettuce in this game.
I think it's so hot. Except for Jerson. No. Jerson's got a little something going.
Yeah.
But it was Richmond in the middle of the summer.
That's fair.
Nathan, honestly, these players around, that we got to play with were awesome. I mean, and I don't like to live in the past at all. I don't like to think about the past.
No, I've got to stick up for Berkey. He'd usually make it to about the 55th or 60th minute.
Yeah, that's for sure. So
that's because he didn't work very hard.
No, these guys were great, and I got to play with some unbelievable players. And like I said, I don't like to live in the past because I think the game of soccer is better now, and players are better now, and you think back about that, and I'm just a blip, a small blip, like a grain of sand in this soccer world. So, it's nice to.
Sorry, I'm just laughing at Henry trip over the ball.
It's nice to see the success and some of the personal accolades and things that happen, but there's so much more success out there in pro soccer now, and I think we are part of making that kind of grow, making it bigger, and that's what I'm more proud of than anything, of kind of putting soccer on the map and making it very popular in this country.
Yeah, I think that's what makes this organization so cool, either to play for or, in my case, to work for. Just knowing the history that we have, being sorry, Charleston, but the longest running franchise continuously by a day, as Rob Ukrop will tell you.
Yep.
But just knowing, we're a historical club. We play in a very, historical stadium. I mean, everything about us just suggests like the vanguard of, OG American soccer. And so that's kind of what I take away from my job, is I kind of get to help, push it on to like the next generation, because you just have, because I'm sure we'll probably maybe do the 95 final at some point for the Open Cup. You've got Lee as a player, and you got Rob Ukrop, and you've got all those guys. And then you have your guys' generation in the mid-2000s, where you're constantly having this playoff success. As Matt Myers would suggest too, there were a couple gut punches along the way, but ultimately you guys got to experience quite a bit more success than a lot of other players do. And then, you've got the 2010s and what we're doing now here in the 2020s. It's very cool just how long the Kickers have been around, and what are, even if you say you're just a blip, at the end of the day, you played for a club that's had quite an impact on soccer here in the U.S.
Yeah, it's cool to see kind of where. God. I know, Joey. It's cool to see, just to watch the league and to watch, the organization grow. And USL now has a players association and a players union and all these things that we kind of never even thought about back then. We were, I think, Burke, I don't know how you feel, but I was just grateful to be a pro. Like when I was growing up and I said I wanted to play professional soccer, people laughed because there were no opportunities in the U.S. You couldn't watch soccer on TV when I was in high school. Like I'm a Man U fan because I got brainwashed by my college coach, because he would play Man U highlights on road trips because that was the only soccer you could watch. Yeah. So, you kind of grow up in a world that's completely different to where it is now. And we didn't play because we made a lot of money. We played because we loved the game. And it was, a dream come true to play professional soccer. So to get with a club like Richmond, I say it all the time, I was extremely lucky, because how many teams came and went while we were playing, Burke? I mean, you hear stories about guys not getting paychecks and all these crazy things, and we're with a super stable club.
There's no doubt about that. I mean, there's no doubt about that. I felt very fortunate to be with the Kickers as long as I've been with the Kickers, and it's you dwell a little bit and think about it back then and these times, but like I said before, I try not to live back then, and it's great, but that was a great little set piece they did there. They completely fooled us. Ronnie would have not got that if that was in the corner. There's no way.
I had no chance.
And I think I'm apologizing because I probably missed the mark or did something wrong, or let me see here.
I just runs right in front of you. You're just standing there on the top of the box.
Yeah. I think oh my goodness, no chance. We had no chance. I think I admitted that I was at fault there, but I didn't see the guy coming from behind me. No one talked to me. So.
Well, it's being a coach now. I think what I would say is your body position was really bad because you had no idea what was going on behind you.
Ronnie, are you a coach?
Sometimes.
Come on.
when I feel like it. Yeah, Ross, I'm just short. Okay, I don't want to hear it. I'm just short. I
want Ross to keep commenting because he's definitely the funniest staff member. His nickname is the Joker. Loves jokes. I want him to keep commenting. Right now, look, I don't even think we've been in their half.
No,
that was a bad challenge right there.
Yeah.
Look, yeah, he feels bad. I think I get him back later. I get him back. I stomp on him.
So I will tell you though, Charlotte was notorious for doing that. Is they would foul the crap out of you and then just apologize.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, they're really good. Amanda, can I recommend doing this with the 2002 semifinal in Rochester? That would be awesome.
Well, we've got a cabinet in the front office that is just stocked with VHS tapes and DVDs. So
that might be one of those you have to like hand reel the film to be able to show it.
Yeah, I'll have to ask Rob if he's still got like his Laserdisc player, and maybe we can rip that.
Wait, Nathan, it's not a disc; it's VHS, my friend.
So that one, so the 2002 semifinal was awesome because Rochester was a dynasty at the time. I mean, they were winning Open Cups, winning the league every year. It was 13,000 people in their stadium. It was a home and away. We tied them 1-1 at our place and then went up there in front of 13,000 people. And the coolest part about it was afterwards, they thought they were going to win, so they set up fireworks, and they had to set them off because they had already paid for them. So I remember sitting on the field after we won, going to the finals, and they set off fireworks, and like the stadium was empty because everyone left because they were all mad because we beat them.
Hey, they sent you guys off with a bang, right?
Exactly.
Deli sometimes feels sorry for himself, so he has to like pump himself up. So he's wait.
Yeah, I don't think he's taken a drink yet this half.
But wait, oh, there he is again. Let's see what he does here. Hold on, let's see percentages. Oh no, he's not fast enough.
To get the ball. He'll just give up and let it go out for a throw in for the other team.
Deli had an stinker this game. Let's be honest. He had a stinker. Wait.
Jesse Myers.
Jesse will not be writing that book, by the way.
Oh, Burke.
Oh, I was just too fast. That's the problem. I was too fast, and the ball was flat.
Now I know why they wanted Yambi instead of you to start out with.
Yeah. Well, Joey hasn't even been involved. Where is he? Let's see what he does. Oh my goodness.
Oh.
I hope Joe Bot is watching because him and Deli are wearing the yellow jersey next practice. The one thing that we had a lot of like tricky set pieces that we always worked on in training that we were good at. I think we were the best in the league at that. Not that one because Sasha didn't give a good ball. He was probably thinking in German.
That one would have been good if Sasha could serve the ball.
True. Sasha also was probably the most underrated player that I've ever played with. He could have played at the highest level in this country, no problem.
Yeah.
No problem.
So Sasha was weird because you look at him and you're like, there's no way that guy can be a soccer player.
Yep.
Just looks completely unathletic, but he was actually really good.
Yeah, you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. He would be a rec player.
If that.
Yeah.
I bet you I just kick it long. Yeah.
Jerson was a good player too. I mean, there was a lot of good players on this team.
And then you think about, the guys on the bench, they brought in like Bulow, Giordano, who was on loan from DC United, who was really good. Ben Hunter, who on his day could be a really good player.
Yeah, Ross was on the bench though, so I don't know if we can go that far.
Well, I didn't notice how I didn't mention everybody.
Yeah. Ross is probably fifth off the bench in this game. I don't know, probably to waste some time for Lee. Ross had a lot of talent. There's no doubt about that. No doubt about that. He never got a fair shake.
I feel like we're going to need like a Dr. Phil session when we all get back from work from home in the front office.
We probably will. The only people that I make fun of really, really bad are the people that I'm close with, and so they understand that I love them. Wait, hold on.
Is that Sasha's dad playing? Oh, that's awesome. Tell the guy we stay with.
absolutely brutal banter in the first half. Let's hope everybody enjoys the goals coming in the second half.
Yeah, so 45 minutes, and I think that was an unbelievable save, by the way. An incredible save, and a successful pass.
And a successful pass. Yeah, that was one of those. If they score that one and we're down 2-0 at halftime, it's a completely different game.
Yeah, that was massive. I mean, Ronnie was huge in this game. There's a shot in the second half that he makes a kick save, and I mean we got away with one here a little bit, I think, but Sasha, that was an unbelievable ball.
Burke eating a hot dog. I forgot about that. Dave Crum, that's unbelievable. How do you remember that?
I probably was eating a hot dog because I had to get some calories, so I had to coach his daughter's team the next day back in Richmond. So,
get on the kicker mobile, drive all night, show up in Richmond, and go coach.
That's where I stomped on the guy. That's where I deserved a red for sure. I mean, he's upset. He has every right to be upset. I mean, it was so inappropriate. I can't believe that. But back to David's comment, I do remember that. I was so hungry for some reason, and I had to go get a hot dog, and it was the best hot dog I've ever had. Best of.
Syracuse was a shocking stadium to play at, though. All right.
Well, since we're on the topic of food, though, Elliot Barr of the River City 93 podcast wants to know what the post-game meal is usually.
It depends. So Kevin Knight, if you remember Kevin Knight back in the day, he would love to get like ice cream and a Pepsi. So back then nutrition wasn't really what it is these days. So because we had the kicker mobile, if you don't know, it was a converted 18-wheeler that had bunks in it. So it was cool if you were like traveling, and back then we had a lot of back-to-back games. The bad part was every game we would leave right afterwards and drive home, whether we were in Rochester, Toronto, Cincinnati, wherever it was. So basically we'd get on the bus after the game. They would give us pizza, which usually you didn't eat because it wasn't very good. And then we'd stop at a grocery store on the way out to pick up food. So everyone ate their own thing. It really
I would say after every game the opposing club had to order pizza. It wasn't really what we chose. It was more what they gave on the way game. So they would order like 10 pizzas and we'd eat them. At home, our post-game meal. Was he asking our post-game meal?
Yeah, post-game meal.
Yeah, we would have a sponsorship with one of the restaurants, whether it was Mulligan's or Banditos, and we would go eat there as far as the entertainment aspect. But from a health standpoint, it wasn't until later after we left where they had food and sandwiches in the locker room. Jesse was the only one that drank beer on the trips. No one else consumed any alcohol.
Nope.
So he's that's good. Yeah, always Outback. We always found an Outback the night before a game, and that was basically me, Ronnie, Deli. We loved Outback, so we would go there. We didn't care about what anyone else thought. We did our own thing, and they had to go along with it. We were very selfish, very very selfish, Nathan. And when you get to like in your 30s and your late 20s and you've won, you kind of have that aura about you that this is the way we're going to do it, and that's it. So
that's what I was going to say. At that point, we deserve to be selfish.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want a bloomin' onion, you want a bloomin' onion.
We got a bloomin' onion. Yeah, we got bloomin' onions and steaks, and sometimes we would play credit card roulette where you'd throw your credit card in, and whoever it landed on would pay the bill. It wasn't very often because even though we were millionaires, we couldn't really afford the tab. So.
we back in the early days, Rob would eat the chocolate thunder from down under. So basically, it was a scam. He would tell the waitress, he's like, "I bet you I could eat this in under 2 minutes. If I can do it in under 2 minutes, I get it free." And they would never think he could. And his best time was like 19 seconds. It was insane.
He has mentioned it a couple times in the office. I think I said it in passing one time that growing up, my parents used to like to take us out to Outback a lot. And he's like, "Do you want to know how fast I can eat the chocolate thunder from down under?" I was like, didn't know that was a thing.
He was very proud of that. And yeah, Burke was besides Rob for the actual dinner, Burke was by far the fastest.
Yeah, I was the fastest eater and the fastest on the field with my thinking. So it kind of went hand in hand. So I think they would all admit that. But so I had to kind of keep it consistent. If I was going to eat fast, my thinking had to live up to that. And that's kind of how it was.
Awesome. Well, not to derail the food conversation, but since we're at halftime, we're going to take a short break real quick so we can pay for this thing, show you a couple ads from the sponsors. Keep the questions coming, and Deja Rue will be right back.
When building our home, I knew that the stone was going to be the absolute foundation to our house. I knew it needed to be durable, but also I wanted it to be beautiful. I love working with Absolute Stone Design because their customer service is top-notch, their staff is super friendly, and most of all, they truly care.
Come explore Absolute Stone Design's reimagined showroom, featuring our all-new shower and flooring galleries. No dream home is complete without Absolute Stone Design.
Most auto insurers love when you have 2 cars, and they love it even more when you have a driveway full, because they get to charge you more. At Elephant Insurance, we believe the more cars you have, the more you save. We call it the Elephant Multi-Car Discount. It's like buying in bulk, and you can save up to 25%. Take control of your car insurance. Quote online today and see what you can save at elephant.com.
You are the center of a universe. That's what we've learned in 160 years serving our community. Everybody means the world to someone. So when you're in here, or if someday you find yourself in here, and when all you can think about is the world that revolves around you, we'll be a world that revolves around you too. Bon Secours, healthcare for the universe of you.
Most auto insurers love when you have 2 cars, and they love it even more when you have a driveway full, because they get to charge you more. At Elephant Insurance, we believe the more cars you have, the more you save. We call it the Elephant Multi-Car Discount. It's like buying in bulk, and you can save up to 25%. Take control of your car insurance. Quote online today and see what you can save at elephant.com.
When building our home, I knew that the stone was going to be the absolute foundation to our house. I knew it needed to be durable, but also I wanted it to be beautiful. I love working with Absolute Stone Design because their customer service is top-notch, their staff is super friendly, and most of all, they truly care.
Come explore Absolute Stone Design's reimagined showroom, featuring our all-new shower and flooring galleries. No dream home is complete without Absolute Stone Design.
You are the center of a universe. That's what we've learned in 160 years serving our community. Everybody means the world to someone. So when you're in here, or if someday you find yourself in here, and when all you can think about is the world that revolves around you, we'll be a world that revolves around you too. Bon Secours, healthcare for the universe of you.
All right, everybody, we are back for the second half of Deja Vu. We're watching the 2009 USL-2 Championship, Richmond Kickers versus the Charlotte Eagles, with my man Ronnie Pascale, known Manchester United fan, and of course Mike Burke, the roast master.
Raw.
If you guys aren't already paying attention to the chat as well, either on Facebook or Twitter, we've got a couple other members from the team that have been bantering around as well. So it's been a good time so far. And the second half is going to be a lot better to watch, too, for all the Kicker fans.
Did talking about that hot dog at Syracuse get you hungry?
What?
Exactly. Yeah, so for those who don't remember, we were actually in 442 magazine, which is an international soccer magazine, as the worst sponsorship deal in soccer, like in world soccer. Because we were sponsored by Target, and we had 2 targets on our butt, one on each cheek, those first couple of years. But Matt, to your question, I don't think we would have been nearly as successful without that.
I'm speechless.
There's really nothing to say. Every now and then in like Twitter or something, I'll see someone like post a picture of it, like from the magazine. It was awesome.
Well, hey, I mean, Mike's so fast, so they're always chasing after him. So, you know, they're the ones stuck looking at it, right?
I was pretty fast, but look, DiRamondo was a good player, a very good player. He came on. I think he changed the game for us a little bit. Nothing against Jerson, because they're just different players.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But when he came on, and then they put Edson out wide, and then they put me to the left with Sasha, I think it just changed the tactics of the game.
Yeah, I think if you watch, I mean, putting you on the left and giving you the ability to cut inside your right foot, which made you more comfortable, and I think that added a lot because it opened it up for Sasha to get forward more. And Edson out wide just did a really good job of finding the open spaces out there, and it gave us more options and allowed us to spread the ball around a bit more.
Yeah, and watching the first half, Charlotte definitely seemed like they were more comfortable. They were trying to play, a little bit faster and looser.
Yeah, this is a very Beckham-esque free kick here. Were you trying to tip the 6'6" keeper?
I was trying to actually think back about what in the hell I was trying to do there, because it wasn't very good. I don't know if I was shooting or crossing, because that was terrible.
Yeah. Hey, I think that was our first shot on goal, though.
Yeah, I'll take it as a shot for sure.
Well, that would have been the second one, because in the first half, Burke had the one skipping on the ground.
I think the scorebook officially put that as a pass back.
They did. It was definitely a turnover.
Oh man. Well, and if you guys did notice, to start the second half, we had Diamondo come on, as well as David Bulow. Clearly, both men changed the game. Just watching it, that brought a different,
Yeah, this has always bothered me when they pan to Ronnie when I'm dribbling. That really bothered me, because it's probably one of my few successful moments, and they pan to Ronnie just doing nothing. So look, I get the ball right here, and then no, Where is it? Oh, good save. That was an unbelievable. No wonder they panned to Ronnie.
But then I played it right to you too.
I mean that was an incredible shot, but an even better save. They probably didn't even record my best moment.
No, I think you have a good one, maybe in the second.
I don't have a camera at City Stadium. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, so we're going to start to get into a rhythm soon.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're just kind of like feeling out the new formation, kind of getting comfortable with it. But once we get going, we really start to play a little bit better.
Yeah, we kind of touched on it in the first half, and for anybody who's just joining us now, we can kind of re-talk about it a little bit. So you make 2 subs, Diabando comes on, David Bulow comes on, and what were kind of some of the adjustments that Lee was talking to you guys about in the locker room, trying to get ready for the second half?
Nathan.
Yeah.
Are you trying to remember what Lee's comments were at halftime?
I got to ask a question, man.
He probably yelled at me, first of all. He probably yelled at me for doing something wrong. He yelled at Deli and Joey. That was what is going on here? How does that happen?
How did that happen?
I just heard about the I just heard about the 2 subs and I couldn't sit quietly any longer.
A new fighter has entered the arena. Oh my God.
Unbelievable.
It's funny because he sat quietly for like 70 minutes.
No, 89.
I tell you what. If you, I mean, look at Burke's floppy ankle on that cross. It's embarrassing.
Floppy ankle.
Hey, Ross is taking our screen time here, Nathan. This is a little bit unfair. Unbelievable.
It's worse.
Hey.
What's on your head, Kelly?
I will tell you that Lee always surprised me because anytime you thought you'd get yelled at halftime, he actually stayed really calm. And then the times you thought, oh, you're going to come in and like he was going to be happy, he always screamed at you. So it was like always the opposite.
Deli, what's on your head right now?
What is my hair?
Look, it's a tough time right now for hairstyles in general.
Deli, I'm really surprised you weren't taken out at halftime.
There were a couple of games throughout my career, I think, Mike, where we were subbed out before halftime, which was pretty embarrassing. So that,
Nathan, that is a true statement from Deli. We were subbed out before halftime, I think, twice. I don't know if Ross got in those games, but I think that was more embarrassing.
Yeah, it wasn't. I do remember that.
Ross, at least you got a ring.
I don't think we got rings that year.
Oh.
Deli's hair is embarrassing right now. It's just disgraceful.
I wasn't I only signed up. Burke told me this was on Facebook. I've been off Facebook for a year. This is the reason I signed back up.
You were off Facebook because you were banned.
Well, that was the whole point of putting Deja Vu together, so that way you could have your data stolen again, Deli. So we're glad to have you back on.
I got Samuel here with me too. He was at this game.
I gotta say, me and Ronnie actually look younger than we did in this game.
What's up, Sammy?
Nothing.
So it's just hijacking our telecast here. Very upset about this.
A quad sub at 40. Yes, I remember that one, Matt. Burke was one of the ones that got taken out.
I think I was as well, yeah.
It was like the 41st minute. It was like right before halftime too.
Burke and I were walking off to the locker room, and he's like, "Well, at least it wasn't just one of us on our own." So
was that the game? Was that the game that Burke threw his jersey at Lee and told him he was done?
There are so many of those games, Ross. I don't know.
Patty, it was at the very beginning. I'm just looking at Patty asking about the Target Row days. It was back like my first couple of years, so 2000 to 2000. 2-ish maybe. Because then we went to Stephen B. Furniture, and it was the best seat in the house, which wasn't an upgrade from Target.
We're going to have to raid the closet over at City Stadium, see if we can find a couple pairs, maybe auction those bad boys off.
Jesus, Burke, another square ball given away. You're having a stinker out there.
I played horrendous.
I tell you, that's what exactly what I was saying on the bench. I was, how are these clowns in front of me here? It's unbelievable.
No doubt about that. I would say the same things. I mean, you not a great teammate, not a good.
No.
But Rob,
I tell you, my thing always when I was on the bench, my thing was always like, if we're losing, I got a good chance of getting in here. But if we were winning games, I was like, Jesus, I'm not playing today.
Rob, what does it say about you as a player that you can't get on a game with us playing this bad, though?
You can't go with Lee logic. It doesn't even make sense.
Okay, I'll give you that one.
He kept Dele on the entire game, I think. It's trampoline park is ruining the game.
I definitely Dele on after halftime. I mean, your chances are very slim. I mean, he had an absolute stinker.
That was me there, I think.
So I'm guessing he was going to take Dele off, and then Joey got hurt.
The one thing I do remember about this game, we played horseshoes at halftime. I was on fire.
Halftime horseshoes.
So now that we got Dele on here, maybe he can answer a question for us, because we were wondering in the semifinal in the lead up to this game, your 120th minute goal to beat Harrisburg at the death right before you guys would have went to PKs. How did that go down? We can't find highlights. You remember?
Yeah, I do remember. It was a corner. Probably Burke took it. It was probably underhit it slightly, and I think.
Wait, hold on. Let's rewind. If it was the 120th minute, I was definitely not in the game.
There's no way.
But it was it was a corner that got whipped in. There was kind of a little bit of a ricochet, and it popped out to around the penalty spot, and I just kind of hit a left-footed shot into the bottom corner, and it just got through a little bit of traffic. And I just remember one of the most emotional moments of my career. Like, everyone jumped into like a huge pile, and it was, I've actually felt like the feeling after that game was more euphoric than even winning the final. The following week, it was kind of a strange feeling.
Maybe that's why I felt the way I did in this game, because of the week before. It was such a big high that I didn't feel the same emotional kind of connection to this game. But I don't remember much. So
it always kind of felt like it was just a matter of time before we took over the game.
Yeah.
Woo.
That's another one that could have hit it low.
Nathan, can you do me a favor?
Yes, sir.
My son needs to go to bed in 5 minutes. Can you fast forward to the 82nd minute so he can see me play?
That one's on Patrick Wood. He's our producer. I'm just holding the roast session together by my fingertips right now.
That might be the best strike of Edson's career. Normally, that was.
Oh man!
So now that Dele was telling us the story of his,
the only reason you were on is because you had.
I do remember that it was off a corner. It was a scramble, but I'm pretty sure it was like 2 yards out, dude. It wasn't the top of the penalty spot.
Either way, Fox in the box, right? It went in. That's the important thing.
Right.
There was in the I think it was 2000. I don't know what final it was, but there was look at this, terrible. When did we play Charleston in the final?
10 or 11.
Yeah, Dele hit a shot at the end of the game. I
remember that. Yeah,
it was going in. There's no doubt about it. I looked at it, and it was like cleared off the line, right?
It was. I think it was Ian Fuller. For some reason, was behind the goalkeeper in the corner. It was literally going into the top corner. He flicked it off the line. It was like one of the last plays as well. It would have put us into penalties, I think.
Was that in Charleston?
Yeah.
It was 2-1 at the time. Matt, both of them were shocking, and we should never talk about them again.
We had a terrible night in Charleston after that game, I remember.
we were up a man for most of the game. Colin Falvey fouled me and got a red card in the first half, and we.
Yeah, like 30 minutes in, right?
Yeah.
That was he was a good player. DiRamondo was a good player. He changed the game for us when he came on. Are we still down 1-0?
Yeah, we haven't scored yet.
Yeah.
And Burke loved DiRamondo because now he was the second shortest player on the pitch when DiRamondo came on.
So it looks like Man Bun's getting the love for the best hairstyle right now.
They were both really bad.
Well, see, now we're starting to see you guys really start to take control and put some pressure on Charlotte that I don't think they really got to feel up until this point. Definitely not in the first half.
Yep.
I mean, it's a good ball in by Burke. Yambi did a good job of challenging.
Good reading of Burke there, Deli.
We had a couple of plays we would do in a game, and he would have to shout over, so I would dummy it. But a lot of times there wasn't enough pace on the pass.
Right there.
So I knew I couldn't leave it, even though, and then he would moan at me afterwards, and I'm like, it wouldn't have made it to you. Like, you never understood the pace on the ball.
Ross, can you call Edson and tell him he's having a shocker?
I texted him a minute ago. I said, I can't believe you were a first-team All-American.
Dude, he should have.
Kelly, I would have passed you that ball.
Yes,
Jack, what are you looking for right there?
You should have seen the evil eyes I was staring into the back of Lee's head at this point of the second half.
That is hysterical. So this is probably, Nathan, why we were so successful, because of the people like this on this cast that were just good guys and amazing people. There's no doubt. I mean, look, I'm not playing well. I would say Deli would say that he's not playing well. And
oh my gosh,
Burke,
how did you win support as MVP this season? I'm stunned.
I didn't win it this season.
Oh, it was me. That's right. Look at the banner.
That's right.
Supporters MVP.
Yeah, supporters choice. Six years in a row, Ross. 6 years in a row.
There's only 4 people that voted that year.
I think the interesting thing here, though, is when you play, there's sometimes you don't have a good game, but you might have that one moment that can contribute and make a difference. Like, it could be one key thing, or one goal, one great assist, one great tackle, whatever it is. And so that's kind of what you play for. And as a forward, my mindset was, I could have a really, really crappy game and might score the game-winning goal right at the end, and doesn't really matter. So
that was pretty normal for Deli to have a pretty crappy game and score a winning goal at the end.
For Nathan, for our over 30s A indoor team, he has several crappy games and maybe scores in the last minute.
Now, Jesse's just lying to you, Ross.
Because I was probably yelling at Jesse right now. I was like, talk to that man, will you? Talk to Lee, will you? Get him sorted out.
Jesse was a player's coach.
Yeah. He would say that to everyone on the bench. This was the point also where I've been warming up for a solid 15 minutes, and I'm getting very frustrated about the time I've warmed up for. It's too long. I'm done now.
Yeah. How would you feel to be these guys? You sub on in the 61st minute, and then you lose the game.
Nobody likes getting subbed on when you're winning, do they?
Difficult to take ownership of that, I think, for sure.
Yeah, that guy, look, he disrespects Steve Shack, and then he comes back and shakes his hand. Very disrespectful. I would never do that.
Didn't you do that every time?
Look at Deli. I mean, he's fouling Not good. Not good. What happened there?
Hey,
Suzanne, you're jumping the gun a little bit, but you are going to see it, I promise.
Who remembers when Lee kicked Yumby and Henry out of a possession session because they kept on losing the ball? We couldn't even get it done. The two best center backs.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man.
I need to blast.
Where is he? Where is he?
Look at that extension. Who remembers when we were in Pittsburgh?
Here's the goal. Hold on. Oh, great goal. Great goal.
I'm pretty
Ross
sure
is probably thinking, this is not good.
That's it. I'm not going in now.
Buelow served a great ball there, and Edson scored a great goal. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he megged the keeper on that one.
Yeah, it's not often you see a header go between the legs. I mean, everything went right on that play for sure.
Yeah,
it's
it was
not
a good
often
goal.
you see a header go between the legs, or Buelow uses left foot.
That's very true, also. But like we talked about earlier, we focused a lot on this game going into it of keeping our shots low. So it finally hits one low and it goes in.
Yep. Between my
That's
man
one thing
Buelow
Delhi did not do in 2005.
All right, so at this point, now that it's tied up 1-1, how does that change for you guys after, trailing for 63 minutes and starting to really feel like you're taking control of the game? How did the approach change on the field? What did it feel like?
For me, I don't think it changed at all. I think it was kind of, we knew it was coming. But being 1-1, it wasn't game over. It was time to keep going and kind of put our foot on their neck.
My approach totally changed. I knew I wasn't going in, so I went and sat down.
Same. I just think it was. Ronnie's a little soft, so that's why he's gone down. But
no, I knew you were really tired from celebrating, so I was trying to give you some time.
I think he was crying. No, we just never doubted that we were going to win this game. If we just kept doing what we were doing and kept Ross on the side, we'd be fine.
I think I was in the locker room at this point. I think I was changing.
No, I would say the worst is if you're on the bench going in and the final sub goes in. You've got no chance. Oh man,
that was a really bad ball by Buelow.
I would 100% scored that, but whatever.
Yeah, but Nathan, to answer your question, I think you can sense like a little bit of a momentum change in games, and I think we definitely felt that. And then, this last part of the game, I think everyone kind of had that belief, and then you get that little bit more pep in your step, and the game can suddenly change. So I think that's.
Burke said it earlier though. Like whenever you played against Charlotte, no matter what the score was, you knew they were never going to completely pack it in. You knew that you had a game regardless what the score was.
Yeah, they didn't change their style whether they were down 4-0 or up 4-0. So even if you scored again, you knew they were going to keep doing the same thing. But this is like we kind of talked about at the beginning. Until I rewatched this, I didn't realize it took us until after the 80th minute to score again. I thought we scored again pretty quickly. I was way off.
I think everyone would agree that playing against these guys, as annoying as it was, they were the best individuals you would play against. They were. I always look back and think about how I was sometimes during these games, but these guys played their hearts out, and I have a lot of respect for those guys, how they went about it. And even afterwards, when they lost, they were the most gracious in defeat. And because when they lost with how they were, I always wanted to be that way when we lost because of how great they were. So
they were one of the 2 or 3 teams that actually tried to play, try and match us in the style of play. A lot of teams just packed it in against us that year. I feel like
true.
We were. So this was always a back and forth match, whereas we played other teams and it was, they sat in and tried to counter us a lot.
Delhi got another foul there, just so.
I think I got a bit of the ball there.
Completed passes that day, I think.
Poor guy. I mean, this is one of his memories, and we have to show it to him right now.
It's okay. That's why it's beautiful to be part of a team. You other guys can pick up the slack when you struggle. You know.
Well, I mean, this was all unplanned. I think we were going to have a different game when we were going to call upon Deli to make an appearance on the show, and organically it has worked out quite nicely.
Look at that.
I guess everybody.
Ronnie claims he got a touch on that one, by the way.
I absolutely got a touch on that. Just watch.
On the way back out, off the bar.
Even if it hit the crossbar, Ronnie was blaming someone.
You know what the saddest thing about this whole broadcast is? That referee was in better shape than I was in that game. That's unbelievable.
Yeah. Look at Burke. Look at Burke's defensive position right there.
Oh, yeah. Brave. Very brave.
Perfect.
I thought I made myself pretty big.
I didn't know you could make yourself smaller.
Oh, man.
I didn't think we were like much better than them in this game. We didn't dominate, I don't think.
Oh. Ronnie was pretty off of that one.
I absolutely got a touch on that.
Even that 2009 technology can tell you were nowhere near that one.
That's why it was a delay. I actually got it.
Oh, how bad does that hurt when Henry kicks you? Oh my goodness.
Oh, I was saying that.
I remember one day he literally put me over the fence on field 5 at Ucroft Park.
I think it was Burke and Bulow that always got hurt the worst from Henry.
He was always come after me.
They would have like really nasty physical injuries, like on their shins usually.
I don't think Henry liked you very much, Burke.
No, I think I got under his skin a little bit. He chased me one practice. It was the scariest practice of my life. Do you remember that, Deli?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Well, let's be honest. He would have caught you.
He couldn't catch me.
He wasn't trying.
No, I was faster than Kalungi, but if he caught me, I knew I was dead. That's why I never let him catch me.
Another good flick on there, Deli.
Wait, way to notice that, Russ. Thanks.
I'm trying to get highlights for you, mate.
Ronnie
Clean catch,
came up
Ronnie.
big. And then he punted it to the other goalie.
No, I hit it right to
The left back, yeah, brilliant.
right to Eddie. Look at that.
I mean, they finally passed it to me. Look, too far. I mean, it was look at the stare. Watch the stare.
I know. Hey, how often did you see that stare from Burke when he's giving away 9 balls like he has in this game and he's staring at you?
Hey, the greats are that way.
Tish, you're right. Henry and Yambi were unbelievable in the back.
Yes, they were.
Absolutely.
Okay, no worries.
Did you play?
I think the whole bench, Burke, you've seen this look. I think Declan's seen this look as well. This is the look they got from Lee about this time, the entire bench. As he analyzed who's going to come on and make a difference.
You always knew Burke would make like one last really good run down the wing, and then he'd look over and be like,
Oh, man.
So,
Maybe
to be
giraffe.
honest, my diet and my eating habits weren't very good back then. I probably had some McDonald's that day and a soda. My diet is far better now than it was then.
I think we all probably coached 2 or 3 games that day as well.
Yeah, I probably had a tournament that day.
So what was the typical pregame meal then?
You grab a sub on the way to the game, wolf it down.
Jersey Mike's.
Yeah.
Well, for me, Nathan, I would have peanut butter and jelly like at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. That's if I was home, that's what I would do. But like I said, my diet wasn't very good back then for some reason. I mean, the game has come so far now, people with nutrition and I mean, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so I would do a Jersey Mike sub about 4 or 5 hours before the game, take a nap, wake up and eat a peanut butter and honey sandwich, and grab a quad espresso on the way to the stadium.
Ronnie didn't have to coach as much as the rest of us.
I did all my coaching early on.
It's funny you say Jersey Mike's because I vividly remember one of my own games. My buddy and I, we walked over to Jersey Mike's probably an hour before kickoff, and he ate a full giant from Jersey Mike's. And he was our right winger, so he was just running up and down the pitch, and all of a sudden he just looks at our coach and is like, "Please sub me off." And sure enough, he just starts throwing up on the sidelines. He kept it to a regular after that for the rest of the season.
I don't know if we talked about this at all, but Ronnie, but Swinehart on their team was a big part of our team in 2006 too. Did we talk about that?
Was he in 06 also?
He was in Seattle with us.
That was 05.
Oh, 05, yeah.
Yeah.
05, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, all we had talked about was had his wife not had a baby, then you wouldn't have played. I think that was the comment, right?
That is 100% certain.
Yeah, no, he was one of those guys that he was always one of those guys that you respected, and he always represented himself really, really well, no matter what. So I still talk to him. He actually is now the director of community involvement for the new MLS team in Charlotte.
Who?
He's still doing a ton of really good stuff in the soccer world.
Who?
Dustin Whitey is.
Oh. Yeah. I mean, I think his logic was if you can't beat him, join him. So I think that's what, he was smart.
Who remembers that game in Pittsburgh when Jesse got up and yelled at the linesman and it got super quiet? And who remembers what the Pittsburgh fan yelled at him that made him sit down really quickly?
Wilmington, wasn't it?
No, it was Pittsburgh. I'll never forget it. So Jesse got up to yell at the linesman about something and it got super quiet.
I think you had a bird's eye view of that one.
I did. I was sitting right next to him. And one of the fans said, got up and yelled at the top of his lungs, "Sit down, fatty."
Oh, poor Jesse.
And then 10 minutes later, a ball came over towards the sideline and Jesse got up to trap it. And as the ball was in the air, he sat back down because he didn't want to be caught standing up again.
Oh, it's awful.
Oh, my goodness. That was a close shit. That was unbelievable.
Was that close, Ronnie?
I think, Yambi lost him. That was actually a pretty good effort. They probably should have done a little bit better with that one.
Yeah.
You had it covered, though.
Yeah, if it was on target, I definitely had it, but it was
Yumby was a great player. What a great guy, too. One of the best individuals in the world.
Yeah, I was really excited he was going to do this, and then he bailed on us.
Speaking of Yambi, do you remember when he drank an entire bottle of Tabasco sauce on the bus after the game?
For $50 as well.
Yeah, we rounded up with some cash, and he got about $50 for it, and he drank an entire bottle, and then he went to his bunk, and we didn't see him again.
Did he really do that?
Yeah, he drank the whole thing.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Wow. Were you?
Was that
Deli, was that when you were polishing my boots, or?
We were probably in the back playing some cards. I was probably taking your money.
No, we didn't gamble.
Monopoly money.
AC Doocy.
I didn't know I was hosting The Last Dance all of a sudden.
No, these guys have ruined it. Deli and Ross were terrible.
Yeah. It was. We had a habit of doing really stupid dares, and people thinking they could do a lot. So,
like Ronnie thinking he could get that ball off his line there.
So notice how I was trying to talk about something else when that happened to try to take the focus off the game. But yeah, so we did a lot of not smart things on the kicker mobile, and that was one of them. How did it come up, Kelly? All of a sudden, Yami's like, I could drink a whole bottle of Tabasco.
Yeah, probably we're talking about it at dinner. Usually at dinner when we.
Bearing in mind that Yumby didn't like spicy food and couldn't even eat like pizza. That's how clean his diet was.
Which is what made it better. So yeah, but to his credit, he did it.
Yeah.
That poor man's digestion. Oh,
Samuel just said he'll do it for $50, so can round up some money.
By the way, I'm gonna have to text Edson after this and tell him he had an undercover stinker in this game too.
Edson
Undercover stinker. Listen, I don't think I can point to a player really, to be honest, besides Ronnie, that played particularly well in this game.
It's a miracle we won it.
Yeah. I mean, Bulow came on and made a difference, and Edson scored, but you know, I mean,
I think our center backs were okay.
Yeah, they were okay.
Sasha and Kenny were solid. I think outside of the defending guys, the attacking guys were not very good. Sorry.
How did we finish it what were the table standings at the regular season?
We finished first with with Wilmington, but they won on some sort of bogus rule.
They had more wins at the end of the season. The tiebreaker wasn't goal differential; it was wins.
Gotcha.
Because you guys would have had the number one spot locked up because you guys had the highest goal differential of the whole league.
Yeah, so that's the only way we got to host this game was because Wilmington lost. Because Charlotte beat Wilmington.
Yeah.
What was that Wilmington team like that year?
That would have been a tough place to go play.
Yes.
In a final. Yeah. So.
They were, I think, Dennis Irving was the coach, an older English guy, and they were
David Irving.
They were going to work really, really hard, never stop. It was more of that kind of traditional English style. They didn't really play, but just lumped the ball forward. Big, physical, athletic team that just kept coming at you.
Well, plus the field was very small.
Yeah, narrow,
which didn't really suit Delhi. So,
did any field suit Delhi?
Harrisburg.
Ben Hunter, look at Ben Hunter making a cameo.
Oh, this is
about time.
You shake Lee's hand. Yeah. But then you yell at him.
I wasn't mad. I don't think I was mad I came out of that game. I think I was telling them that Delhi should probably be coming out too, but I don't know.
You probably looked at him and said, "What took you so long?"
We go on to win, so clearly it was the right decision.
That's true. I can't argue with that one. That
was the catalyst, I think.
Yeah, so Burke, how does
that was the catalyst?
As soon as you come out, we score 2 goals.
No. Do we?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think one of them is coming up.
The 83rd and the 85th.
I think I flick it into Bueller and he wins a penalty.
No, I think that's the second one.
Yeah.
This one
that was a foul. Was that a foul?
You're looking for a penalty on that one.
Yeah, I mean, that's unbelievable first touch from me there. I actually think look, that is a foul. Samuel, you think it's a foul?
Yeah, the ref called it. It's a foul.
I tell you what, if we had VAR in those days, that's a penalty.
I don't think so.
No.
I mean, after we saw Joey's foul,
Burke, remember after the game, Delhi wore one of his 2 American Eagle T-shirts that he owned.
Evan Harding, he's not getting in. Did he get in?
Yeah, he gets into the end too. He was another one of the time-wasting subs.
Oh, man.
Him and Ross.
Nathan, did you think that was a penalty?
That's dicey. I mean, he just kind of puts his body into you instead of trying to play the ball. I mean, obviously, I got kicker's red on, so you should be shooting that right now.
I mean, Will's soft though. He's always been soft ever since he was a youth player. So
what I would say is the referee's got to take into account Delhi's terrible first touch.
That's true.
So it's always a tackle after that. It's always a collision. So
that was his 5th collision of the day.
In that split second, the ref's thinking he played the ball too far. He doesn't have possession anymore, and it's not a foul.
Yep. I think here's our goal right here. No, wait, no.
Yeah, it's off of a free kick right now.
Yeah, Bulow's about to draw the foul right here.
How does this go in?
Own goal. Yeah.
Diamondo's going to whip it in, and it's going to take a slight deflection.
I'm pretty sure Andrew Bell goes, I wonder who's going to take it now that Burke's gone, and then we end up playing the best free kick we play all day.
No, it's not. It was lucky.
Nathan, back me up on this one.
Yeah, definitely. Own goal. What a great goal by them.
I
if you look at the score sheet, they give Diamondo the credit.
Yeah, it was going on target, so he deserves the credit. Yeah, they know it's over now. They know it's over.
Yeah,
you know who else knew it was over? Me, for my chances of going to the game. I knew
it was over. Deli would have scored though. Look, Deli's a good teammate. Went and celebrated with his friends.
He's like, thank God you guys bailed me out of my stinker.
That's a big part, like having that team chemistry and celebrating and feeling good for everyone. That was kind of like what our teams were about, you know.
The 11 that played a lot.
So wasn't this one of the first years that we had that relationship with DC United where we brought some guys down?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Was it? No, I thought it was a bit later, but.
Well, I mean, Ramondo was one of them.
Ramondo was, and they kept on coming down. Who was it? Costco Jeans, Burke. Costco Jeans came down a couple of times.
Brandon, right? No?
All right, so I'm getting a note from my producer here. It looks like 2013 was the official start with the.
Yeah, you guys are way off. You guys are years off here.
No, but there was 2 or 3 DC United players that came down this weekend.
That's a pen.
You actually had a good flick.
I told you, yeah. See, you guys miss all these little flicks that make a difference. Even the last free kick, there was a little flick. So
I hit like 40 balls to your head. It's about time you get one of them.
I'm actually concerned now as I get on in life if my brain's going to be all right.
I can tell you.
I haven't seen Bulow move as quickly as to grab that ball for the penalty, though. Look at this. Look at that change of pace.
To be fair, Bulow was uncannily good at taking penalties.
Is that a word?
Matt Myers, remember Neymar back in 2002?
Uncannily?
Remember Brian Namath?
I think it's just uncanny.
Of course, I remember Brian Namath. He played on my team.
About this goal is Bulow's
You're so far off, by the way.
Uncannily is a word, just for the record.
You said Bulow's good at penalties. You remember the indoor penalties? Oh, cool as light.
Very smooth.
Absolutely.
I don't think I was celebrating.
There's a backflip.
I do remember Dougie Warren. Yeah, so I think at this point everyone knows it's about over.
Yeah, I mean that's a tough deficit to come back from, especially like going into the 86th minute. Just not a lot of time.
So Ross is feeling good because now all of a sudden he has a chance of maybe getting in.
No, I don't think I was even on the bench at that point. I think I was back in the locker room.
No, and so would we have changed anything for this last 5 minutes? Would we have any tactical tweaks to finish it out, or
nothing?
You probably put on better players at the end.
We made.
I mean, Deli should have come off way earlier, but
yeah, maybe those 2 goals don't happen without me. You know?
Possibly we could get 4 though.
They're probably double marking Deli, right? So then it opens up some space.
I think at that point they weren't too worried about Deli, so it was probably making more defensive emphasis on other people.
What the facts are is Burke and Ross were not obviously a factor in us winning this championship.
The
facts. Those are facts.
When Burke came off, we scored 2 goals.
You guys forget the worry that the opposing team had when I was on the field. So that in and of itself, you don't see it.
right, here you go. Here's a question from a viewer.
Yeah, Bulow was really hard because he basically he would have a side in mind, but he would wait to see which way the keeper went. So he'd have a really slow, deliberate run up, and as soon as he saw the keeper lean in one way, he would hit it the other way.
Yeah, it either looks really good, which is most of the time, or it looks awful.
Right. I think
like anytime Deli touches the ball.
Yeah, this is 3-1 down now. We've got this pretty much wrapped up. There's no chance. Stelly's lazy right now. He can't even get back.
Luke Vercoloni hasn't even broke a sweat yet.
But he's run like 14 miles.
Yeah.
His first completion of the day.
Pressure's off. Pressure's off.
Ben Hunter was probably out last night. Actually, I think we became a really good team when we were winning. When we were winning a game, we were so much better.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. Ronnie's breaking a sweat now.
That was Ronnie's longest kick of his career.
Is Ross in the game yet?
No.
No.
Ross is already at Mulligan's.
I was in the shower. Got a nice shirt for the night out. All right, come in. 2 minutes, buddy. 2 more minutes.
What's up, Jack?
This is scandalous, by the way. I'm staff meeting on Monday. I'm having a serious word.
And wait till you hear what they said about you, Lee.
Why are you going in, Daddy?
I don't know. I don't even know if I feel like I remember I was in the game, but maybe I wasn't.
In the locker room.
Yes.
No, I took it with me when I left.
When Ross left in the 89th minute, he took it all.
Yeah, there was definitely champagne in the locker room for sure.
We got a couple United jerseys right there. That one was for Ronnie.
I do remember Ronnie wearing his captain's armband on the night out, though.
There's nothing worse when a player goes to the corner. Oh, I hate that.
Well, it's great if it's your team.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that, but it's still annoying.
Coming into what? Well,
Ross, do you get in this game?
I felt like maybe I didn't. Maybe we played Charlotte so many times that year. Don't even remember.
Hey,
I said to Edson there, an absolute stinker, Edson. Absolute stinker.
That is hysterical.
Oh, we started knocking it when I came in. No, look at that.
Knocking it around now.
Changing the game.
You, Ross. Dribble
out. You?
Did you dribble?
He's got. It's tough coming into a game. You got to get your second win. He's not there yet.
He never got a second win all year.
I've been warming up for 47 minutes. I was exhausted.
Oh, man.
I don't think they broadcasted it. Do you guys remember how much stoppage time there was in this one?
3.
Too much for me. I was exhausted.
I want to say it was 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Oh. Luke Vercoloni. I mean,
Everywhere. The guy is everywhere.
I hated playing against him. He never stopped running.
Look at him. He looks fresh as could be.
He was the most annoying player to play against.
Berkey, I do remember a game in Charlotte where you couldn't even continue past halftime. I came on for you at halftime. You collapsed. And then the 88th minute, I couldn't even move. And Luke was making an overlapping run. We're winning 3-0. Like, Luke, what are you doing, mate? We're winning 3-0. You're making me look like a clown right now.
That's true. I remember that too.
He ran past me like I was not even there. When he knows Ronnie was going to shank his kick out of bounds anyway.
No, look, right to Deli's head.
Did Deli play the full game?
He did.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, he is.
I mean, still hustling here. Look at this.
Very soft. Very soft.
Big heart.
Game's not over until they blow the final whistle.
Oh, Evan Harding. I mean, that's the typical execution on his part. Oh my goodness. Again. Deli, well done, Deli. Oh.
Good job, Ross.
Hey, guys are throwing. Killed the time. You're welcome. You
Ross,
could argue I killed the game.
Ross, you had a bigger impact than me in this game for sure.
I'll tell you what, my hair's looking pretty good there. Dodgy flick. Oh, powered through a header.
Didn't want to play like 3 minutes.
I mean, what happened in the half to make it more than 4 minutes?
All the goals.
It took you 3 minutes to walk off, mate.
Penalty, goal, subs.
There's no doubt this is the greatest feeling when you're up 3-1 in the 94th minute. You know you're winning. I mean, it's just
waiting for the final whistle.
Yeah, and you know there's going to be right there. Has to be. Oh, Deli. Oh, there we go.
That was your best touch.
It's still got on the end of it, you know.
Was that Randy who said that was your best touch all night?
But this was the thing. Like at the end of this game, obviously, I mean, we just won the championship, but it was like a different type of feeling than the week prior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fans liked it though.
But maybe almost more a bit of relief, that we've been down a goal. It still weren't winning 80 minutes in, and I think we just kind of it was good to get it done.
Yeah, I think a big part of it too was just we had a lot of respect for Charlotte. So you don't want to go super crazy celebrating with the team you respect a lot.
Yeah.
Or you'd come on in the 90th minute and your heart was still in your mouth a little bit. So
Ross was just exhausted for his 3 minutes of action.
Ross, did you do stride outs after this game?
Yeah, I did. I strided right to the shower and I strided right to my car.
Yeah, it was impressive to watch though, because you could tell that Charlotte was always pushing through the game, and of course they had to play one more game in the playoffs than you guys even had to. So you got to think tired legs really started to come in after you were able to get that first goal in, and it looked like you were pushing for the second.
Yeah, I think Charlotte were a fit team, and you saw like they had some. I mean, they hit the bar. They had a couple of close ones. On another day, one of those goes in, and something it could be different. So it's.
Yeah, that's another day. Burke doesn't have a stinker. Maybe things go a little better.
Yeah, that was how it was playing Charlotte though. It depending on the day. I mean, we had lots of games where we beat them 3 or 4-0, and we had a couple games where we were on the other side of it. So. When you're playing a team like that, it really just depends which way the ball's going to fall for what team that game.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we just, like we talked about, we had confidence going into this game. We were confident in the group we had, the way we were playing at the time, and we were pretty confident playing at home. I think I want to say this game we were undefeated at home too. I mean, that was one of the other cool things that's kind of gotten lost is back then, like City Stadium was a fortress. Like people hated playing, even though it was a cool stadium, a great field. People did not like coming to Richmond to play.
Yeah, I've talked to guys over the years, and they always said coming there was like, it was hot. We had a good team. Like it wasn't a fun place. And we had those too. We would go to places like when we go to play places like Charleston, we knew we were in for like a tough battle.
I mean, we really didn't play well this game. It really was one of our better performances of the season. And, you run into Charlotte on any day when they play really well, you're going to be in for a tough game.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if we played like that and Charlotte was really humming, it could have been completely different. But at the end of the day, all that matters is we won.
Were we supposed to get a commemorative watch? I
think the $5 T-shirts was about all we got.
I'm pretty sure that we were supposed to get like a watch or something.
I do remember something about a watch.
No, that's not right. 2006, we were supposed to get a watch.
Burke, do you remember in 2000? Was it 2000? We got the free Arby's sandwiches as a bonus halfway through the season.
Yeah.
Tell them last night and when why did that? Right, Jack, come this way.
Not funny. Not funny.
So I think you were mentioning it earlier, Ronnie. You said the platform that they did the trophy presentation was a little precarious.
Yeah, so those things have been out at City Stadium probably from when they built it. And usually when you celebrate, you kind of jump up and down, and you'll see it. It's we get the trophy and we start to celebrate, and like half the team goes backwards. It's kind of funny stuff.
Definitely when you're 210 plus like Ronnie was, it was definitely a little precarious.
Hey, my part of the platform didn't fall. I was good. I think it's not for you or Ross.
I wasn't even the platform.
You were still breathing heavy from your 3 minutes of work.
I was.
It was cool to see the crowd that we had for that game and the support we had, and the Red Army we have now is phenomenal. But back in the day, it was the Corner Kicks, the original supporters group, and seeing that support that we had, it's cool to be able to win the finals. The two championships we won were both won at home in Richmond, which for me means a lot to be able to do it in front of your home crowd.
Yeah, absolutely, and definitely something we're looking to do again in the near future. It's funny talking to some of the guys that come on the team now, and the same thing that you're saying with City Stadium being a fortress, it still has some of that aura a little bit. Like talking to Kyle Venter when he came playing for FC Tucson, he didn't like being on the side where the Red Army was because of the abuse that he'd get. And, our fans always make sure that you feel uncomfortable when you're playing in Richmond.
Yeah.
I think the other thing that we had, going for us back then is we were always top of the league, which was intimidating in and of itself, being that good when you came there. That was like a 12th player.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were definitely always. If you came to Richmond, like getting a draw would be a good result.
Absolutely. And we didn't fear anyone. We did not fear any single team that we played.
Yeah, no matter who it was, when we were, even the Open Cup games against MLS teams, we loved those games.
Yeah, no doubt. It's very true.
That was the fun stuff. That's why you played the games. It was really cool. And I think one of the things that we always did that was really different than most teams in this league was we were able to keep a really good core group of guys together. And you see it now. The guys that are on the cast, we're all still in Richmond, and it's been, a decade? So not only did you keep a group together as a team, but you kind of get your family together.
There's Decky. That's crazy.
Yeah, you're with Decky. I got Braden.
Samuel, there's Samuel with his red head.
I see Sammy.
Clapping.
Kind of cool. You know, we came to Richmond as kids. You know, Nelly, you played at VCU. You've been here for a long time. Here we are.
I'm a lot younger than you guys, so I didn't have kids back then. That makes sense.
There's Braden. Say hi, Brad. Watch over my left shoulder, right where Luke is. You'll see, I think, Yambi right there. And when I lift up the trophy, watch Yambi just disappear.
Oh, there we go.
That was because Murph was on that side of the bench.
Murph. That was awesome. That is one of the coolest things. And you think of being a professional athlete, how many people get a chance to do that?
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool that we've, to be able to play in as many finals as we have, to win 2 championships. It's pretty special.
We had one regular season championship too, right? Was it the year we beat Orlando?
Yeah, we don't count that though.
I mean, that should count. That's
for what?
It's a regular season championship. Like that's
that doesn't happen in this country, Deli. Stop living in the past. It's okay.
You want to argue like that's actually probably harder to do.
Yeah, but it's not. You don't get anything for it.
Well, my point is, we still came first in that season.
Good job.
We can be proud of that.
Burke, you remember back? I think it was the 2000 season. We started 1-4 and went on like a 10-game unbeaten streak. And we had the meeting, and Marco Ferruzzi was like, "It's not how you start; it's how you finish."
Yeah.
Oh, let's hear these pearls of wisdom right here. Can we get some of this action?
No, you don't want to hear anything that's going on right now.
I'm really surprised they didn't interview me after my performance.
This is good from Bueller here. This is good stuff.
Yeah, might be having a little bit of an audio issue, but man of the hour over here.
I don't think we need to play this. It's fine.
Ronnie's still got the same chin beard, huh?
I think I was already inside drinking the champagne.
Thank you, Ronnie.
Ross was debating whether he had to shower or not.
Listen,
just redo the deodorant.
Marky, you know as well as I do, a 45-minute warm-up will get you sweaty.
Yeah, that's true.
This was Richmond in August, so.
Hey, back then that was when our season was 3 months.
I think I was already in Europa by this point.
Yep.
Ronnie should have saved that in hindsight. In hindsight, you should have really saved it.
They scored the best goal of the game for sure.
Yeah. It was a good game. It honestly, when you watch it again, like I think about it, I had no doubt we were going to win, but it really could have gone either way. I mean, we got the breaks and they were unlucky a couple times.
Yeah, the biggest takeaway I get from this game is when I think about maybe that I was a good player, I think differently now.
Maybe not what I thought I was.
Hindsight's always 20/20, right?
I'm sure we could pull a few games where you had some pretty good performances, Mike.
Yeah,
possibly.
We'll have Patrick come through the old closet over there in the front office and see what we can put together. Maybe do a little highlight package.
To say a Burke highlight package.
Yeah,
we might have to condense the show to like 2 or 3 minutes though.
That's for sure.
Would you got 60 or how many assists did you have? 60 or 70 assists throughout the years?
Yeah, I think those numbers were fluffed a little bit.
Well, hey, either way, it still counts. It's in the record books, as difficult as it might be to find those record books nowadays.
That's true.
And of course, Patrick Wood on the spot, 61, it would appear.
61? That's not right. It's 67.
No,
it's at least 3 times as much.
61 was the year you were born, dude.
It sounds like we probably need to give Opta a call then, Mike. We'll partner up in the office when we all
I'm
stop.
going to dispute that. It's definitely higher than 61.
Although, according to the new USL, anything that happened before 2014 doesn't matter. So,
yeah. So you have none.
I don't think
It never happened.
How many goals do you have then?
The same amount of assists. Yep.
none of us played.
Yeah, I still have, so if not counting those, I think I got close to 50.
After that?
Yeah, I think so. I had a couple of seasons where I scored. I had a 16 goal season.
What, 4 times?
No,
When did you retire?
2016 or 2017.
Yeah, there's no way.
No
Mate,
way.
you didn't score 16 goals for Team Awesome last year. There's no chance.
Well, I'm pretty sure that there was like I'd like to check. I think I'm pretty close to 40 or 50 anyway.
Adult don't count.
Deli knows.
2013, I think, wasn't 2013.
I mean, considering Deli's selfish personality, he definitely knows his stats for sure.
CBSA doesn't count.
Well, I'm told
I
not
was
to
definitely a
quote.
team player.
I'm told not to quote Patrick on this, but he's thinking it's about 47 or 48, Deli.
There we go.
So we're in the range that you put out between 40 and 50.
I don't dispute Deli's record of it. That's for sure.
I did.
I think it was like 3 or 4 seasons worth of goals. Yeah.
I do dispute that it was 61. It was well more than that.
Well,
did he count? I mean, I came out of retirement and had a game-winning assist. I mean, did he count that one?
You're trying to do double assists, right?
No. Yeah, what was his name? Udai served a great ball. I played it back to Jerson. That was that's the only thing I remember from my career.
We might have to check on some hockey assists, right?
Hero?
What?
Oh, Patrick blasted you.
What do you
Which
say?
retirement was it that you came out of? Good banner from Patrick.
Tell Patrick it was very hard under the pressure of Lee to keep wanting me to play.
You were a reluctant soldier, right?
Just trying to, it was for the greater good of the club back then.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate all you guys being on here. You're all great servants for the Richmond Kickers, and it's been a pleasure having you watching the 2009 final presented by Absolute Stone Design. Certainly did not expect this to go the way it did. I think we were better off because it did. So I want to thank the 2009 Supporters MVP, Ross McKenzie, as well as Matthew Delicott for hopping on the show with us and making it even crazier.
We single-handedly saved this show, buddy. We single-handedly saved this show.
Second half went totally.
Thank you, guys. Best teammates, guys. Best teammates in the world. Best friends. See ya.
Yeah, I wanted to do it, but if you look at my notes, there wasn't many questions left before you popped in. So thank you. But anyway, want to thank everybody that's watched the show with us tonight. Hope you're well, and we will see you next week. We'll probably be announcing the game coming up in the next couple days, and like this one, it's going to be a cracker. So, all right, guys.
Thanks, everyone. See you guys. Have a good night.
Yep.
When building our home, I knew that the stone was going to be the absolute foundation to our house. I knew it needed to be durable, but also I wanted it to be beautiful. I love working with Absolute Stone Design because their customer service is top-notch, their staff is super friendly, and most of all, they truly care.
Come explore Absolute Stone Design's reimagined showroom, featuring our all-new shower and flooring galleries. No dream home is complete without Absolute Stone Design.
Most auto insurers love when you have 2 cars, and they love it even more when you have a driveway full, because they get to charge you more. At Elephant Insurance, we believe the more cars you have, the more you save. We call it the Elephant Multi-Car Discount. It's like buying in bulk, and you can save up to 25%. Take control of your car insurance. Quote online today and see what you can save at elephant.com.
You are the center of a universe. That's what we've learned in 160 years serving our community. Everybody means the world to someone. So when you're in here, or if someday you find yourself in here, and when all you can think about is the world that revolves around you, we'll be a world that revolves around you too. Bon Secours, healthcare for the universe of you.